I asked Levin what happened on our planet. I saw a magazine that said, "Nature's core secrets lie hidden in time." If humans had deciphered the nature of time, the core secrets of the universe, why do you say cosmic secrets? Hidden in the essence of presence. I don't understand. Levin replied. The secrets at the heart of the universe are actually hidden in space. The nature of the field, space that moves in a cylindrical spiral. So it can also be said that the core secrets of the universe are hidden in the field. Any object in the universe, and that includes us. The space around the observer's body. Objects centric, at the speed of light, diverging around in a cylindrical spiral. The movement of space. What we perceive as observers is time. Time field. Mass, charge, velocity, light, speed, force, momentum, energy, thermal, sound. Color these. It is our observer's perception of the movement of objects in space, and the motion of the space itself around the object. A property described. The core secrets of the universe lie hidden in space. In fact, it is hidden in the movement of space. And the essence of time is space moving at the speed of light. The core secrets of the universe are hidden in time. The reason is the same. Realize that space itself is in motion. In fact, it is the most crucial. So why do things move in the universe? Is there a force acting on it? What is power? The reason for the motion of all objects in the universe. It's all caused by the movement of space itself. Force can be seen as is the degree of change in the state of motion of objects and space. Oh, the motion of objects is caused by the motion of space. So why does space have to move? Physics is just our description of the geometric world. So any state in physics, the corresponding geometric state can always be found. Space 3 in geometry. The dimensional vertical state is any point in space. You can make up to 3 straight lines perpendicular to each other. Vertical state. After the analysis, calculation and description of our human brain. Such a process. The physical state of motion. Anyone. Objects in a vertical state in 3-dimensional space. Its location. Observers must move relative to us. And constantly changing directions of motion. And the trajectory. It can recreate a vertical state. This is the reason behind the motion of objects and space. Force is the degree to which the state of motion of objects and space changes. You only try to explain objects and space. Why exercise? Your understanding is not deep enough. The nature of movement. It's a description of the vertical state of space. Out of touch with us as observers. There is no motion. There is no rest. Discussing whether to move or not. It's meaningless. I don't seem to understand what you said. Can't understand. I'm embarrassed to say. Soodle said to me. It's normal that you don't understand. This explains everything in the universe and space. Why exercise? Belongs to one of the core secrets of the universe. I read in a book that some people say that space is 3-dimensional. Just a point in space. You can make up to 3 straight lines perpendicular to each other. Why is space 3-dimensional? Levin explained that in the universe. As small as an electron proton. That's the Earth, the Moon, the Sun, the Milky Way. All objects that exist freely in space. It's all moving in a spiral. Including the space itself. It's also moving in a cylindrical spiral. This one. That's why the space we live in is 3-dimensional. Relative to us. The linear motion of space constitutes 1-dimensional space. While rotating in a plane, it forms a 2-dimensional space. Spin and spin. Linear motion perpendicular to the plane of rotation. It's a cylindrical spiral. Space moment moves in a cylindrical spiral. Three-dimensional space is created. The space in which we live. It's a right-handed spiral. That is, we hold the spiral space 4 fingers with our right hand, consistent with the spiral around direction. Then the direction of linear motion of the thumb, cylindrical spiral motion, is rotational motion, perpendicular to the plane of rotation. Synthesis of linear motion. I asked if there was a left-hand spiral. Cracks say that natural ones are not available. Only artificial manufacturing. Natural left-hand spiral space. That is, the space around the object. If you move with the left-hand spiral and around ordinary objects, spatial contact with spiral motion of the right hand will be mutually exclusive. Over billions of years, the universe has evolved, rejected to the edge of the universe. Even if there is a left-handed spiral in the universe, we can't find it either. Sudal interjected. About sports. You scientists on Earth don't realize it yet. Description of the state of motion in physics can't be separated from us. The state of motion comes from our human descriptions. Are we observers? An affirmation of an object's location in space. To negation. The process of affirmation and then denial. Levin added. The state of motion is described by our observers. Certainly, static states are also described by us observers. Without an observer, or do not specify which observer, the state of motion is uncertain. Stationary states are also uncertain. It makes no sense to describe motion or stillness. Sudal says, mass, charge, field, force, momentum, energy. These concepts. It is also important for understanding the nature of the universe. Mass is just what surrounds the object. The number of displacements in space moving at the speed of light. Positive charge is the amount of time around an object moving around at the speed of light. Number of spatial displacements. Negative charge is the space around the particles of an object from an infinite distance, formed by the convergence of negative charges at the speed of light. The amount of charge depends on the unit time. The number of motion displacements in space. Positive and negative charges. The space around it is still moving in this cylindrical spiral. Are satisfied with the right-hand spiral instruction. Positive charges diverge around. Negative charge, inward convergent motion. Energy. It also reflects the degree to which objects move in space, and the degree of motion in the space around the object. Levin went on to explain to me. The momentum on your planet is mass times speed. The concept of momentum on our nemesis is the vector speed of light minus the speed of motion of the object. Multiply by the mass vector speed of light. Direction can be changed. Our concept of momentum. Why is it better than your concept of momentum on Earth? One more vector speed of light. The reason is that you Earthlings do not realize. When objects stand still, space around us is always traveling at the vector speed of light, diverging around. Take this momentum formula and take the derivative of time. 4 cases will be drawn. The first is mass over time multiplied by the vector speed of light. This is the electric field force. The second is object mass. The force over time multiplied by the speed of motion. This is the magnetic force. The third is vector speed of light. The force over time multiplied by mass. This is heli. The fourth is speed of motion over time multiplied by the force of mass. That force is gravity. It's the inertial force of your Newtonian mechanics. This is the 4 forces in the universe. A grand unified equation written in one equation. You Earth scientists, Albert Einstein. After decades of hard work, neither succeeded. Sudal said that on your Earth. of scientists still don't understand the nature of light. I don't know what a photon is. A photon is a negative charge that accelerates, generates an attractive force field, makes some electrons lose mass and charge, became excited, moving at the speed of light. Particle properties of photons. Because photons are excited by electrons. The fluctuations of photons are due to fluctuations in space itself. Space fluctuates all the time, and it's a shear wave and superimposed cylindrical spiral motion. The speed of fluctuations is the speed of light. Photons are at rest in space. Move with space. Quantum properties of photon energy. Because photons require a fixed energy to be able to stimulate, to travel at the speed of light. I can't add more energy because the photon has already escaped. Levin went on to say that there are generally two models of photons. One is an excited electron, moving in a cylindrical spiral, linear motion, partly the speed of light. And then you have two excited electrons, around the same straight line as the axis, symmetric rotational motion, and perpendicular to the plane of rotation, moving in a straight line at the speed of light. Norton asked me, "Can you understand what Levin said?" I can only understand part of it. But I remember what he said. You may understand part of it later. Norton says, "We will use the screenshot technology of factory scanning. We're going to scan all of this into your brain. You will use this knowledge later. It just pops out of your head. Our design will not let this knowledge. It all comes out of your head at once. Your brain can't take it. You will gradually master this knowledge in use. This knowledge is very important to you Earthlings." Finally, they invited visitors. On the planet, several famous scientists in history who have passed away, in the form of virtual digital humans. Now we have a conversation in front of us. Norton said that on our planet, there will be Newton and Galileo, Einstein, virtual digital personas of these famous scientists. They will appear in public. You can interact with the public.